So this video is a very short introduction to how you can program Calcit with a text-based editor, which is just a text editor like Sublime or VS Code. This is a demo at my local, and so Calcit itself was designed based on the syntax of Serial, and it was designed to be used in a tree editor in the DOM, in a browser, and or in a web-based editor in my local, and with the text editor as a tree editor, it's very handy to operate the expressions. It's very fast, and there's also a canvas-based editor, but not as handy as the one I used in the DOM. So more people may want to use a text-based editor like Sublime Text to code. So there's a feature added in Calcit. I think it's months back, called bundle Calcit. To you can skip the file, skip the tree edit part, and use text editor to code. So Calcit relies on a compatible.serial file to run the program. When you read the program, you will find there's packages, there's configs, and there's files which contain the namespaces, when containing all the things. Or if you want to find a larger compatible file like this one, it's still packages, config files, and entries for if you have multiple entries to run the program, and also namespaces. And inside namespaces, there's definitions and namespaces. It's not very hard to understand. It's very simple structure. The namespace declares how it's importing other files, and the definitions declares how it's running. And when the program is running, when the program is run, it's running from the init function and reloaded from the reloaded function. It's very simple structure. But when you want to maintain coding separately in files, like if you want to have a src folder and contain all the files, you have to write it in this way. Maybe in namespace, the namespace part, the syntax, which is very like Clojure, but you have to use indentations, and definitions like define and define function. These are the two basic special functions to declare. And then you want to create the program. So you can't run it directly with src folder. There's no feature like this. But instead you have to bundle it first. The compatible.serial file are deleted. You have to generate the file first, and to generate the file you have to use these two files which contain all the source, or the source of namespaces, and then you have to declare the informations like configurations and the package. So you have to write an extra file called package serial, which contains the information of packaging modules and init functions and reload function. So now this file is already created in the project. It's actually called minimal Calcit, which is this project, minimal Calcit. And then there's a command called bundle Calcit. If you have Calcit you have Calcit installed, which is the command for bundling the file. Like if you want to bundle it once, you have to use argument 1 to write the compatible.serial file, which is exactly the file I deleted. So since you have the file, now you can run the file with Calcit runner once, and it's running. Okay. So next you want to edit the file to change it to 0, and you need to run it again to run these 2 commands again. And it's running with the new version of the file. And by design, Calcit want to iterate very fast. For the 0 command, it by default it's watching. So when you are changing the code, it's running again. But actually, it relies on the file called compile.inc.0 to provide the information how the file is changed, and then it can patch inside the program to update the code, and then it can run again. So it needs to generate this file, and it has to update the compile.0 file in the meanwhile. So now to do this, you can just remove this argument and just bundle Calcit. It watches the watches the folder, and when you change the file to turn it into like 12, it bundles the file and emits these 2 files. And Calcit run away, detect the change and run the code again. So let's do it again. Like change the file to 100, and it's running with 100. And I can also change this file code to 100. Okay, it's just running with the new code. Internally, it's watching for the events and watching the debounced events. So when the last event of the given time frame is the last event is finished, it will try to call these tasks to compile the file or to write the files. So this is how it works. Just add this file to declare the information of the program, and write the program in this syntax, the namespace part, the definition part. Normally you have multiple definitions. So taking this for example, normally you have multiple definitions. But when you want to write an extra definition here, just define a like range, maybe, and then you can write print a. It should work. A, yes. Some mark here. Anyway, so yep. Actually, you can define it. You can put the code after this. It's still working and it's generate. Normally, it should generate nothing. Nothing should be changed. This file is not. Let's do this again. Turn it into just moving this. I can't put it in before. It will cause an error. And before it will try to detect the first expression. It should be the namespace. The error message is not smart. Sorry about that. No changes. Okay. So this is roughly how bundle Calcit is working. It enables the need to program with Calcit with a text-based editor like Sublime Text. But normally I just don't use text-based editor. I will use this tree editor for many other purposes. Just delete extraction or duplicate. Anyway, so if you want to try this, you can download minimal Calcit and install Calcit and run with this command. Okay, thanks for watching.